Well, okay, all right. Well, let's call this meeting to order at 5 p.m. on Monday, September 8th. I would like to acknowledge our guests, Marilyn Rusnick and Romy Carver in the room. Welcome. We're so glad you're here. And we'll move right into the consent agenda. Has everybody had a chance to review the agenda?
Yes.
Yes.
And the July meeting minutes?
Likewise.
Okay. Any changes? Anything? Okay, all right. And how about approval for the August 20th, 2025 special board meeting minutes?
What do you mean approval?
Well, I mean, changes or comments. Yeah. All right, well, we'll just move right into the personnel report. Okay.
All right, so we hired a business ops coordinator as ours moved out of state. And so we did a pretty fast recruitment for that one, and followed all the steps. And so she was able to start and train under the outgoing coordinator for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, which was fantastic. So, so we filled that. The faculty math position has been filled by his name's Jackson Shoemaker, Jackson with an X. And so he starts on the 15th, and he comes from Eugene, I believe.
Yeah.
And our vice president of instruction position has been restructured slightly and has been renamed vice president of student learning and academic affairs. And we just posted that last week, and we already have
17.
18,
Wow.
18 applications, and it closes on October 1st. So that's when the hiring department, chaired by Mr. Wesley here, will start looking over all the applications.
Okay, that's exciting. All right, thank you. Thank you, Kyle. All right, do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I would move we accept the consent agenda as presented.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
I second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes. Now we'll move into invitation for public comment. At the beginning of the meeting is an opportunity for the public to comment on any issue within the jurisdiction of the Tillamook Bay Community College Board of Education. Is there anyone who would like to make public comment? Hearing none, we can move right into new business, the exciting part. We have tonight interviews for Zone 2 and Zone 4 board positions. As I think everyone knows, Andrea resigned her position, and she and Larry moved, as did Shannon. And so we have openings for 2 different positions, and happily we have applicants for one of each of those positions. So they are not competing for these positions, but we have one applicant for each position. So it's our pleasure tonight to interview our applicants, get to know them a little bit. And I'll turn it over to you. Ask if there's, what would you like to have?
Yeah, just that. So 2 positions, Zone 2, representing Fairview, Neatarts, Oceanside, Prairie, and the west side. We have Marilyn Rusnick has applied for that position. And Zone 4, Bay City, Garibaldi, Kilchis, Maple, and Foley. Rowan Carver has applied for those positions. You have received both of their applications and the questions. And then if you want to proceed one at a time, you can interview them. We have the questions here. We have a hot seat in the front, or you can sit where you are, whatever feels good for you all there. We like to put people in a little bit. Sure. But yeah, and then however you would like to ask the questions, if you all want to take turns and round robin it, or however, is totally fine with me.
I think taking turns round robin is fine. I'll just say to the applicants that it's a little bit awkward, this this process because we have to do all of this in a public meeting. And so you're welcome to be here for each other's interviews. So how it'll go is we'll interview you. And then when we've interviewed both of you, then we'll deliberate. And you can stay in here with us while we're deliberating, or you can step outside. I've seen people do it both ways. If you don't want to listen to people talk about your application. And I've known people to leave and we'll call you. So you can do whatever you want when we get to the deliberation stage. But if you want to just stay right where you are, that's fine too.
And I would say our goal would be if the board chooses to appoint somebody and nominate someone and they are appointed, that we could swear them in right away and they'd be able to participate in the rest of the meeting as board members.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. That's our hope. So let's start with zone 2.
This would be Maryland.
Maryland.
All right, I don't like the hot seat.
Okay.
I can't see half the people, so I'm going to go over there. Just so I can see everybody.
Welcome, Marilyn. Thank you for being here. Thank you for applying. Suzanne, would you like to start? Well, we're just going to dive right in. We have 9 questions.
Hi, thank you for doing that so I could see you. Please describe your experience of working on a board or as an elected official. And it would be helpful if you included experience that you might have had developing policy.
Okay. Well, I'm currently serve on the foundation board at TBCC and also the Latimer Board of Directors. Previously, I've avoided boards until I retired because they take a lot of time and energy, but I am retired now, so I feel like I have time to give back a bit. I was, long time ago, I was the student representative to the Colorado State Board for Community Colleges. Which I guess is sort of relevant to this. Yeah, so, and as far as policy goes, well, I was a professor at a university. So every few years you have to write a whole new policy statements for everything. And I'm kind of the Eisenhower thinking where writing a policy is a great experience. Implementing it is a waste of time. But I think developing policy is a way to just discuss a lot of things in depth. Then when you're done with that, you can put it away in a drawer and then pull it out 5 years later when you have to do a new one. But yeah, we had to do that. As faculty members, we had to participate in that every few years. And that's most of my policy work.
Great, thank you. I'm Mary. Nice to meet you. Being a member of the board is a commitment of time,
Yes.
as you know, because you're on a couple of other boards, right? So do you feel like you have the time available to spend some of the responsibilities that would require time every month as preparation for attendance at board meetings? So reading through the minutes and looking at what the agenda items are. Potentially involvement in professional organizations like OCCA, which is Oregon Community College Association. Participating in legislative activities and civic events, and serving on the budget committee to approve the budget every year. Do you think you have the time to spend on those types of things?
I think definitely I do. I will say this. If I become a member of this board, I will never get to go to the Oceanside potluck again. It's on the first Monday of the month. It's kind of sad. But yeah, I don't think they're gonna change it, and I don't think you're gonna change it either, right?
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only issue I have with time. I just can't be 2 places at once, so. But no, I don't think I'd have any trouble. I am on the County Roads Advisory Committee. We also meet on the first Monday of every other month. But I don't think it's gonna be an issue because it meets from 3 to 5 and it's like a block from here, so I think I might be 5 minutes late sometimes. But
That's gonna be a tough day for you.
yeah. Otherwise, I forgot to mention that as things I serve. I'm also on that.
Nice.
We call it crack.
The funny-
I'm on there. But I only do it every other month.
Marilyn, what aspects of serving on the board intrigue you the most?
Well, some of you know, who know me know that I am passionate about community colleges. I got my academic start at the Community College of Denver. And one of the things I'm the most proud of is the fact that about 10 years ago, they awarded me an honorary associate degree. The only honorary degree I have, and I think it's very cool.
That is cool.
So I really think that community colleges are sort of the backbone of the community, really very important for young people and middle-aged people and old people. They're important for the entire community. And for me, they were a way to get started in college. I had no money, I had no support. And to try to start at a four-year college was pretty daunting. But the community college was very welcoming. And so I like to see that. I feel that very much here at TBCC. And I think, yeah, that's what excites me, getting involved with the students and helping them get their start. I've been in the mentorship program for a year now for the first in the family mentorship. So yeah, I'd say that sums it up.
Thank you. And thanks for your service in the first generation mentor program. That's great.
I'm Marilyn, I'm Betsy. Nice to meet you. And what do you believe are the most important roles that TBCC has in our community?
Well, education, I guess, is number one. Education for the entire community. And I think if we include both college education, but also continued education, advanced learning for just people that want to know something new. So I would say education is its top role, but it also has an important role in the community in terms of providing space for community events, kind of being a guiding role in the community for education for students who want higher education. Yeah, that would be top.
Marilyn, I'm Pat Ryan. My question for you is that TBCC is an open access institution. I'd like to know what that means to you and how would you ensure that the college remains welcoming, supportive environment for students regardless of circumstances or backgrounds?
So that's one of the most important aspects of a community college, I think, is that it's open access. And that means that it doesn't matter how you did in high school. It doesn't matter. I mean, it matters, but you can still go to the community college even if you didn't do well in those circumstances. And also it means that we are blind to people's ethnic background, gender. That doesn't make any difference to the college what those issues are. So I think open access is one of the things I love about a community college, the way it should be.
Do you have some thoughts about how you'd ensure that continuing to be the case? Follow-up question.
Okay. I haven't really given it a lot of thought, I have to be honest. But for sure, maybe legislative lobbying, or I feel privileged to live in Oregon, which is because it has a lot of laws that support people from different backgrounds and different communities and different ethnicities. Not always the case everywhere. So, but I do think that our current legislature is very supportive of that. The fact that we are a sanctuary state. Also, I would certainly lobby to keep it that way. We have a big battle in some ways, I think, nowadays for those kind of issues, but yeah, I pretty much fully support them.
Thank you.
What do you feel are some of the challenges, the key challenges to community colleges in this country?
Well, obviously, federal funding seems to be crashing for everything, including community colleges. And so moving to more private funding is something we have to really seriously think about. It's something we think about on the foundation board. And it also, you know, we don't want that to change the flavor of the college. We don't want people to say, okay, I'll fund you if you do this or that. It has to be still maintained as open access and open to everybody. So I think that is a challenge, is something going forward that needs to be dealt with, that we'll have to continually deal with.
Thank you. What steps will you take to ensure that the constituents of your district are well represented on this board?
Yeah, that's a good question. I have, I think probably a place I'd like to start is just, you know, providing people with my contact information so anybody in my district can knows how to get in touch with me. I'm an old person. I don't do TikTok, and I do text. And but you know, there are certainly plenty ways to communicate without necessarily doing, I don't even do Facebook, sorry to say, but well, no, I'm not sorry, but but I think basically keeping the lines of communication open, letting people know who I am and what they can contact me about if they have questions or concerns about the college. So how will I do that? I don't know, maybe I should make some business cards, pass them out.
The Oceanside potluck is probably a good.
Yeah, it's a start, you know, except I can't go there. You know? I don't know, the Do Nothing Club in Oceanside, that's a good place to contact that community, which I am a member of the Do Nothing Club.
Yeah, me too.
Does that club actually do nothing?
Yes, we actually do nothing, and we meet every Thursday morning.
That's fun. Okay, question 8 is under normal circumstances, people are elected to the Board of Education. Are you prepared to run for election in the May 2027 special election to continue in this position?
I would be prepared to run. I'd have to think hard if I have to campaign, if I haven't any opposition. Because I don't really like campaigning, the idea of campaigning, but you know, if it's necessary, it's necessary. I would hope to be able to continue doing it.
Thank you.
Okay. And Marilyn, finally, do you have any questions for us?
Oh, I know, I should have been prepared for this, right? Because it's always the last question. Actually, at the moment, I don't, but believe me, there will be lots of questions for you in the future if you appoint me to this position. Plenty, I'm sure.
In lieu of questions for us, do you have anything additional you'd like to tell us?
Only that Paul asked me to do this first of all, and I'm very honored by that. And I feel like, you know, it's been in my, community college has been in my blood since I was in my 20s and started college. And, I just started a nonprofit through Oregon Community Foundation called the National Bootstrap Fund. It's actually called Maryland's National Bootstrap Fund because there was already one. I didn't really want my name on it, but it's on it. So that will provide scholarships for what I call bootstrap kids. These are people that have no financial or moral support from their families. We already have also a scholarship here at TBCC for a bootstrap kid. So I would never have gotten through if I didn't have a lot of help. And I feel like helping these students who really are motivated to move on through. I do need another member of the board for that foundation. And it has to be a bootstrap person, so probably none of you qualify. I don't know, but I'm guessing. But I do have a candidate, and I believe he is the president of the student council. Yeah. So he's a possibility anyway. But yeah. That is something that's really important to me, to give a leg up to students who are really trying to make it and don't have that kind of support. And when I did it a long time ago, it was a lot cheaper. I think I went to the University of Colorado after I finished my first 2 years at the Community College of Denver, and tuition and fees were $500 a semester then. And they're like probably 10 times that much now. it was, it was something much more doable, but I had a lot of help and I had scholarships from people I had no idea who they were, it just would appear, so. That is something that I'm really passionate about, giving people a leg up.
Bravo. Thank you so much. It's really great. And by bootstrap, do you mean just somebody who had trouble paying for their own education? Is that what you mean?
Well, yeah, it's not, it means that they have to pay for their own education, so they're not getting any support from their family. But it's also moral support too, so they're really pulling themselves up completely by their own bootstraps.
And you're looking for that in board members?
Yep.
Okay.
So I have one for sure, and possibly Morgan, and then I mean, we have to have a minimum of 3, but I would probably like to have a few more so that, and young, I want them young. Because when I die, they have to keep carrying on the whole thing. So I need people to be
Good thinking ahead.
stable in the future with it too. Yeah.
Okay, that's exciting. Thank you.
I'm excited about it. Yeah, it's taken a little while to get it put together, but it's happened now, so.
Wonderful. Okay, anything else for Marilyn?
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll get out of the hot seat.
I can do that.
Welcome, Romy.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for applying.
Thank you.
Shall we dive right in?
Sure.
Okay.
Romy, I think I've known you since first grade.
I was just thinking about it. When I was 6 years old and you were Miss Eggert, the junior primary teacher at Wilson School.
Yes.
We go back.
Please describe your experience of working on a board or as an elected official. It would be helpful if you included experience that you may have with developing policy.
Okay. I had to bring a piece of paper with me because my memory. So I served for several years on the Northwest Oregon Housing Authority Board, where we worked a lot on policies, procedures. Matter of fact, I served with Mary Faith on that board. I serve currently on the library board. We're more of an advisory board. We're not a governance structure. We do talk about policy. I was on a policy committee around circulation and materials to be ordered and that sort of thing. I currently am vice chair of Bay City Emergency Volunteers, which is kind of a ragtag band of local folks that are trying to teach people about emergency preparedness and gather supplies. So I work in conjunction with city manager and the mayor over there and a few other people. And as part of that, I'm also on TC4, which is our countywide emergency preparedness. And that kind of segued into me becoming a CERT volunteer. I got registered with that last year, and now I'm becoming a facilitator so that I can build a CERT network, which is Community Emergency Response Team, by the way, I should have said that. So these are the folks of your neighborhood that show up and make sure the neighborhoods are okay before emergency responders can get there. They just kind of cover the bases and triage people and do search and rescue and stuff. So we trained 10 people a few months ago in Bay City. 5 of those were Bay City residents. We're offering it countywide, and we're trying to build a better, more robust emergency preparedness. We know that people fall through the cracks in our communities in a disaster, and we make sure that we're helping everybody. And I just actually came from a meeting with Bay City Emergency Volunteers leadership to get here because we're looking at purchasing things for our container and things like that. And then I also, I'm on a board up in Rockaway called Neocon Coast Art Music Cultural Foundation. I apologize for the mask. I met Ron Whiten last Friday and shook his hand and found out Saturday that he tested positive for COVID, and I'm testing negative and I feel fine, but I'm abundance of caution kind of person. So that's why I have this on. I hate it. Anyway, the Neocon Coast group, they're a nonprofit up in Rockaway, and they recently put on a big Rockaway Beach Music Festival. They're doing fundraisers to raise money for music and art in the schools. And I feel that that's really important. And I'm a lifelong band nerd, played trombone for years, and it was my life. And so I think art and music are a really, really big deal. And where we've fundraised and we're building a music studio at Yankani High School, which any student countywide can use. We're gonna be doing some partnering with the library, where the group puts on Rockwave, Writers Rendezvous, and some of these other cultural events to bring that piece together in the community. And then I also work for Columbia Pacific CCO, and we're the Oregon Health Plan insurance provider. So if you know somebody on OHP, they're one of our members if they live in Tillamook, class for Columbia counties. And I bring that up because as part of my job, I'm like chair of the Tillamook Systems of Care Group, which is a group of people that get together from a variety of disciplines that work with at-risk kids that are involved in multiple systems. So kids that are involved with the schools, juvenile department, mental health, and child welfare, and kids that are kind of falling through the cracks and cobbling together services because there's not something that meets all their needs. This group of folks gets together and we're the systems of care. So we meet monthly, and because of my work, I'm involved in a lot of those kinds of things. Some of that doesn't really involve policy and procedure, but a lot of my other board responsibilities in other arenas have involved in that.
Thank you. So being a member of the Board of Education is a commitment of time. Do you feel that you have the time available to meet these obligations, like preparing for meetings, involvement in professional organizations, legislative activities, and the like?
That was my first question for Mary Faith, is how much time does this take? Because I told her and others that if I end up being appointed to this board, I'm gonna be stepping away from a couple of other things to make sure I prioritize this. Because I feel like this is a priority over some of the other things that I'm doing. So yes, I would have the time to do that.
Awesome, thank you.
What aspects of serving on the board intrigue you the most?
Well, honestly, I never went to college. So I wanted to go to college, and when I graduated, it's kind of a convoluted thing, but I had gotten it incomplete in a college class I took for high school credit. And I got it out of Tillamook when I was 18 and moved to Ashland, which is where I lived. And I got down there and found out that I couldn't go to a college down there and make up that credit. So I couldn't get my diploma. So 4 years later, I ended up back in Tillamook as a single parent. And I went back to Tillamook High School and walked into the school and went to the office and said, I want to get my diploma and I want to take that class. And they worked it out. I took the class and I got my diploma 4 years later. And by that time, life was in the way. And there were not the supports that are in place now that I'm so proud of, that make it, I don't want to say easier, but certainly more accessible for kids like the kind of kid I was, and adults who run into barriers with life. By that time, and nobody in my family has ever been to college. And I always wanted to do that. So I feel like if those things had been in place that are doing now, I would have gotten a degree, and I want to see other people be able to do that, because not having a degree has made my career very challenging over the years. I've managed to fight really hard to get things done that I wanted to do, and do the kind of work I love to do, which is helping people, but it wasn't easy. So I just want to make it, I guess that's where I feel about it, like being part of something that is higher education and seeing that come to fruition and removing barriers for people. And I'm a community health worker. It's part of my job. I'm a registered community health worker. And big part of what I do is removing barriers for people, helping people navigate systems and advocating for them. And so I feel that's really an important role for me.
Thank you.
My question, what do you believe are the most important roles that TBCC has in this community?
Well, I mean, education primarily, right? And that's the surface piece, like, okay, it's an educational facility. But to me, I see it as a social safety net for a lot of people, and people that may not feel like they have a community, they can find a community here. And it's an accepting place, and they can come and take a class in something they're interested in, or they can build a career here, or there's a lot of opportunities. I think that's really important. So I would say that the social safety net, role and a gathering place. In my job, we have our CCO board meetings in this room, and we used to have our advisory council meetings before COVID in this room. And, it's just, it creates a space where it's also a neutral space where people feel comfortable going. And there's a few spaces like that in town. The library is another one, and this is one where it's on the bus line, people feel comfortable here, it's a good place to be. So I think that's an important role to create that space for people.
Hi, Romy.
Hey.
Again, the question is TBCC is a open access institution. What does that mean to you, and how would you continue to support that was the case for all students regardless of background or circumstances?
So I guess for me, I mean, open access just means everybody can access what they need here. And they can come here and they can get an education, and maybe they can't afford it. They're going to get assistance and get some navigating and get some help and finding programs that fit everybody's needs. And, you know, people aren't cookie cutters of each other, and we have diverse people in our community with diverse sets of needs, and accommodating those and helping people achieve individually what they want to achieve. And for me as a board member, I'm not sure I have the answer to that yet, because I don't know what that would entail. To be honest with you, I'm not going to say this is the things I'm going to do, because I don't know what that looks like yet.
Right.
And I don't want to make assumptions about what my role would be, but I feel like I'm always on the lookout for people that are dealing with stuff. And I have a connection with a lot of our members, our students here in this building with CCO. And a lot of people I run into in my daily life in the community that I care about. It's my hometown. I know a lot of people that I care about here. And if I have a way that I can support that, I would see that as my role. I just don't know specifically what that would look like.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
What do you feel are some of the key challenges to community colleges in this country?
Well, like Marilyn said, I mean, obviously funding, right? I think there's always challenges in looking for creative ways and creative paths to fund different programs or different things and you have to figure out a way to cobble together things to meet the needs of the people you're serving. And I think that every community is different. So that's gonna not, you know, every community college, I would imagine, will look a little bit different depending on where it's located and what that community looks like. Like we have a lot of hospitality workers here, different industries that looks different than our urban area. So I think rural community colleges have a specific challenge. And I know here we have a struggle finding with workforce, and particularly the medical workforce. I know that I've been part of a lot of conversations with CCO and in my other jobs talking about growing your own healthcare workers here and encouraging high school students creating programs. And I'm just going to tell you personally how excited I am about the nursing school, because my granddaughter, who I raised, is a first generation college student, and she's starting up September 22nd here at TBCC, and she's taking her nursing prereqs over the summer. And I don't have words for how proud I am of that happening, because it didn't happen for me. It didn't happen for my kids. And because of the programs here, and because of the supports and the partnerships that you have with the high school and the local schools, those are the kind of things that are able to happen. So, and I think another challenge to community colleges is people who don't believe in higher education and attack higher education and want to ban books. I'm going to use that example, or ban materials that are important cultural materials for people to have access to get a quality education. So I think tailoring some of those educational needs to the community you're in, programs that fit the needs of the kind of jobs that are available here, or maybe if people want to move on, keeping track of that would be a challenge.
What steps will you take to ensure that the constituents of your district are well represented on the Board of Education?
Oh, I wasn't sure how to answer that question at all. I mean, I have a pretty good network of people, like I said, basic emergency volunteers. I'm in Idaho, I'm kind of tucked between Tillamook and Bay City, and so I'm one of the Pike Road fire evacuees, and so after we had our fire, I created a Facebook group called Pike and Doty Road Neighbor Network, because I wanted all of us to start to communicate with each other. You know, it's mostly things like my cat's missing and whose dog keeps barking, and, you know, but there's a creepy car and we got pictures and we're watching out for each other. So I'm somebody that likes to build community. I'm a community organizer, and I like to get people together that are like-minded and work together and make good things happen. And so I feel like I kind of have my finger on the pulse of how a lot of people feel because of the different groups and the things that I do. And I would like to represent that in a way that is representative of the neighborhoods that I live in.
Thank you.
And under normal circumstances, people are elected to the Board of Education. Are you prepared to run for election in May 2027 to continue in the position?
That's actually the piece that terrifies me the most about this. There's something very intimidating about that, and especially the tone of some of the recent elections. I've decided to just do it, and I have people in my life that are very good at campaigning. It goes against my grain to do that kind of stuff, but I think it's important because we need to protect the integrity of this board and have people that are able to work together and collectively have the best interest of the students and the community. So I'm willing to do it. Makes me nervous, but I'm having a panel interview with 14 people.
That's right.
Thank you.
Okay, do you have any more questions? Any questions for us?
You know, I don't know what questions I have yet.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wish I could say I have, but I don't know what to ask. I'm just here to learn. That's it.
And is there anything that additional that you'd like to let us know?
I can't think of anything on me, really. I feel like I've said everything I needed to say. Yeah,
Okay, thank you so much.
thank you.
All right, now, the board will move into deliberations. You're welcome to stay. As I said before, you're welcome to step outside, you're welcome to leave, and we'll call you. I'll just be brave.
Why not?
Okay,
Set it out. Yeah.
all right, terrific. All right, well, thank you both. Then let's move right into deliberations. Does anybody want to start?
Well, I've known Romy not as long as Suzanne, but I've known Romy for a long time. And as I racked my brain, I didn't realize Romy was still in that Bay City area. Because Paul had asked me about new any candidates, and it was really tough. And so when I saw the application, I was like, voila. Yeah, there's a passion there. I've heard parts of Romy's story before, and it really resonates with me. And I think she's a great asset to this board. I know that Marilyn has been part of the foundation board for a while. And as I read her application, and I actually read it while I was in Denver last week, and I'm going, where is that community college? But again, the fact that she is already ingrained in the work that we do here, and especially the foundation work, which is the epitome of supporting students. I think we've got two great candidates sitting here.
Who's next?
I agree with you, Pat. I think we have two great candidates who are willing to step up and do the job and understand what is involved in it. And I believe that they're both willing to not only work, but to ask questions and, you know, to make things clearer and support our TBCC.
Wonderful.
Well, I also agree. And I was so impressed by the dedication and both of you, very giving attitude for people in the community. It's just amazing. As Rami, as you were going on, I was like, does she have a full-time job on top of all this? Oh. And Marilyn as well. I've not really gotten to know you, Marilyn. I know Rami a little bit better. But I know your name has been everywhere, Marilyn. You are so involved with our community, just beautifully. And there are some little snippets here that I wrote down, but it's just I like when you said, Marilyn, that the community colleges provides a guiding role in education for the community. Almost makes me want to cry. It's really good. That's wonderful. It's great. And then the fact that you really struggled in education, to just get going there, Rami, that was amazingly impressive. I'd like to learn more about that. So,
Thank you, Betsy.
yes.
I can't think of anything different to say
Oh.
because, clearly they have a lot of community interests in their hearts, which is, I think, so important that we share that need to help people on this board, because that's what this is all about, helping people achieve their dreams. So I think we have two very amazing candidates, and we should swear them in as quick as possible.
I agree completely. I think you are both outstanding candidates, and I feel so fortunate that you have both applied at this time. I just couldn't be happier about it. And I want to say, Marilyn, I'm so impressed with what you just told us about the Bootstrap Foundation. It's just outstanding. And Romy, I am thrilled that presumably, not getting too far ahead of myself, you and your granddaughter will both be starting at TBCC this month, her as a student and you as a board member. I think that's beautiful. The synchronicity of that is very moving to me. So we're in such a good place right now. I'm really very pleased. Anybody else? All right. Do you want to say anything?
Well, I've always said that I think that, and I'm sincere when I've said this, for the past few years, that when I go meet with my peers, that I have the best board in the state. And you believe that too, right? We say that all the time.
Yeah.
And I think these two individuals would just strengthen that statement. So no reservations whatsoever. I think it'd be great additions, complement the existing group very well. I'd be very happy to have.
Okay, well, if we don't have any other deliberations, I would entertain a motion to, we will vote to approve Marilyn Rusnick to Zone 2 and Romy Carver to Zone 4. We need to do it separately, I believe.
Yes.
And then swearing in will be separate from that. So a motion to approve Marilyn Rusnick to Zone 2.
I'll make the motion to approve Marilyn Rusnick for Zone 2.
Second,
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Marilyn. Welcome.
Welcome, Marilyn.
Okay, you can't vote on Romy because you're not sworn in yet. I will entertain a motion to approve Romy Carver to the Zone 4 board position.
I move that we approve Romy Carver to the Zone 4 board position.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Welcome, Romy. Welcome, both of you. Congratulations. And congratulations to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're whole again.
Yeah.
Almost.
Okay, so now we will have the swearing in, and I'm gonna, it says that it's my, that I'm in charge of this, but I'm gonna turn it over to Paul.
Oh, very good. We can do this together if you want to repeat after me. I don't know, do we have to stand? What's the formal? I don't think it matters.
I don't think we have to.
Good.
You can though if you want to.
I know. So, all right, so repeat after me, please. I, answer your name,
I, Marilyn Garvin,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
to support the laws of the United States and of the state of Oregon,
to support the laws of the United States and the state of Oregon,
and faithfully discharge any duties which shall become my responsibility
and faithfully discharge any duties which shall become my responsibility
as a member of Tillamook Bay Community College Board of Education.
as a member of Tillamook Bay Community College Board of Education.
Yay.
Congratulations, ladies.
Yes.
Welcome.
Congratulations.
That is fabulous.
Now you'll have to sign your life away.
Oh.
This is Lori. Lori keeps us all organized and she's ever so helpful. Lori is the administrative assistant to Paul, and she's also the assistant to the board. So you will both be receiving lots of emails from Lori. She is fabulous.
You're here.
Good job.
So ultimately we'll have to be set up with board emails and all of those kinds of things. And then any kind of instructions or help you need with any of that. I'm technologically challenged, so it won't be me providing the support. We'll have to ask someone.
Thank you for your honesty.
Yes.
I'll send you both out an email, just, and then if you, any questions and anything, don't hesitate to ask me, and I'll give you what you need.
All right. Wonderful. Okay, then we're going to talk about committee assignments. I feel a little out of the loop because I wasn't here. And so will you please take over this discussion on committee assignments?
Sure, I will. So we had at the last meeting, we did elect a chair, vice chair. You were elected chair. Thank you very much. Ben, vice chair, thank you very much. We chose, knowing that we were likely going to have some vacancies and we had a small turnout at that, we decided to wait for any appointments. We have two positions that we have liaisons with. One is with the foundation, so TBCC Foundation, is the other is with OCCA. Betsy has served as an OCCA liaison. We can have two if there's interest in that as well. There, and the foundation liaison was Andrea Goss, and so we do not have a foundation liaison, although we do have a board member who is also a board member on the TBCC Foundation. So that might be a natural there too. So basically, the board just needs to agree who they want to have on those committees for the year, for those liaisons for the year, and we'll appoint them.
Thank you. Well, I think Betsy does a fabulous job with the OCCA liaisonship, and she has a special honor, a special position with that organization ongoing. Is that correct?
No, I believe it's finished now.
Oh, was it ended?
Being on the executive committee?
Yeah, is it?
I have to verify that actually. I'm
Okay.
not 100% sure.
Okay. Do you want to continue?
Let you know. Yeah, I've loved it so much, but I don't think it's fair to take it away from anyone else who's interested in doing it. And another avenue would be to have two people. I think that's an excellent idea because it does entail, there are meetings it's third month, or else every other month, yeah. And then there are other training opportunities and other get-togethers that the meetings, a lot of people do it via Zoom. You don't have to go there in person, which is nice. But it's also fun to go there and mix with all the people from the other 17 colleges. So I don't know what else I can say, but
What day of the month are those meetings?
it's our Friday
They're Fridays.
mornings.
And I want to say they're the third third Fridays of the month, usually every other month. I know there's one this October.
October third.
Oh, so it's the
That's
first.
first. It's the first.
First Friday,
Yeah. First Friday of every month. Yeah,
every other month, so the October.
yeah, it'll be October third. Yeah. The next one is in Portland. I'm thinking of going to that one. Right.
So
Somebody
Betsy,
else is interested in doing that.
if you'd like to continue, then I think we would be very well served by you continuing. And if someone else is interested, why don't we add another person?
Right. I think that would be a great idea. I don't know how many colleges do have two representatives. Do you know, Paul?
I'm not sure.
Not sure.
Are you thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm probably happy to decline the October meeting because I already have another conference commitment. So I have to be careful, but I've done a lot of policy work that just kind of nerdy in that way on things, and that probably a good place to be. So
The meeting starts at 8:30 in the morning usually, and then it goes to noon. So it's basically a morning responsibility. The presidents get together the day before and have all kinds of meetings.
Bonbons. We have bonbons. Yeah,
What does that mean?
that's like the.
Oh, really? Are you physically? Oh, okay.
You can.
I don't know.
it's a Midwest thing.
Yeah, always is a bit.
But yes, I would be interested in the
Great.
ACCA.
Yeah.
Great. All right. Anybody else? All right. Then I would entertain a motion to have Betsy continue as our OCCA liaison and to have Pat Ryan join
Yeah.
as the second.
To be dual liaisons. Like that,
Yes.
something like that.
We have to approve that?
I think I would, it's an action. I would codify that with a vote, yes.
Okay,
I move we have Betsy and Pat serve as our OCCA liaisons.
Second then.
all right.
Thank you.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye,
Aye.
including you two.
Yes, yes.
Okay, motion passes. Thank you. And Marilyn, are you interested in being the board liaison to the foundation board?
I definitely can do that, yeah. I have to go to all those meetings anyway.
Or.
Yes, I know.
Well, it
She
seems
meant to
like
say
a
she
perfect
did.
fit.
I get to go to all those meetings, that's what I do.
Yeah, yes, it really does seem like a perfect fit. So thank you. I would entertain a motion to appoint Marilyn Rusnick as our foundation board liaison.
So moved.
Thank you.
And I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you, Marilyn.
Yes. Thank you.
Right.
And I will say that there are ample opportunities for board members to be engaged with OCCA in a variety of different settings.
Yes.
Throughout the year, so we would try to keep everybody informed of all those opportunities as well.
Just for example, there was a board training just the beginning of September,
There was, yeah.
which I have gone to before, and it just was excellent. Oh, you learn so much, and I always go out of there thinking, I'm not doing enough.
Mhm.
It's great.
Okay, very good. Now we're going to talk about board retreat planning.
Mhm.
Thank you. So as you know, of course, maybe new to the folks here and, you know, if this is an impact to your schedule, we'll I have to have that conversation, but we did schedule our board retreat for Tuesday, October 7th. It is pretty much an all-day thing. 9-ish we'll gather and then we'll work till about 3:30 or so. Actually, we'll work till about 2:30, maybe take a tour of the new facility.
Yeah.
After that. I have made I put together a tentative draft agenda that you should have on your table there that kind of has it laid out and stuff. I think everybody's got one. Oh, for those.
Excuse me, just one quick question.
Yes.
Is it going to be here?
It will be here
That's fine.
because we're going to do tours.
That's fine. I don't really like, I don't
Do it
really like
upstairs here.
figuring. All right.
So we'll meet in the morning. I will spend, like last year, I will spend the morning with you all by myself, and we'll talk about certain challenges and opportunities, at least from my perspective, over the next year. We do need to establish my 25-26 president goals and objectives. We did have my evaluation in May or June, whenever that was, but I didn't present my goals and objectives at that point in time. So I'll want to get those in front of you. And I'll get them to you early so that if you do have any kind of questions or whatever, that way you're prepared and you can, give me input as to things you'd like to see me add to that. I also want to review the board 24-25 goals. So I'll bring sort of a summary sheet of those goals and accomplishments for that. Done a pretty good job with the board goals. So I think that's all in good shape. And then we'll establish the 25-26 board goals and objectives as well for that. So that's pretty much the morning, is establishing my goals and board goals for 25-26 as we move forward. Then we do want to do a little bit of technology training around, if you remember, we started last year with Diligent. Lori is our Diligent guru, and we kind of fell away from Diligent while Lori was out on leave. So now we'll be picking that back up. We do have some technology to assign you should you need it or want it to be able to use. A lot of the board meetings are going to be managed through Diligent, which is the sort of cloud-based board meeting management. So we'll do that. Have lunch at noon. I'll have the leadership team come over and we'll all join together, have some conversations and lunch there. And then I want to talk about a few different things that are high-level things that are going on at the college that I think are going to be fairly transformative over the next year plus. One of them is looking into our rural guided pathways work, strategic planning, mission fulfillment. Mission fulfillment will probably push maybe to the October board meeting. But I want to talk about some of the work we're doing there. Chris Wickstrom is from Patrick Henry College in Martinsville, Virginia. He is our coach with this rural guided pathway. It just so happens he'll be here with a team visit at that point in time. So he's offered to have lunch with us and kind of tag team with me and the rest of our guided pathways team to kind of let you see this sort of what I feel is a pretty important work that we're going to be engaged in over the next couple of years. As usual, we'll go over our campus climate and employee engagement with Aaron. So that'll be kind of fun, just the annual surveys that we do there. And I want to talk a little bit about organizational structure with you all, 15 minutes or so about sort of shaping visions that at least I'm imagining for organizational structure moving forward at the college. We've had some separations over the past couple of years, and I've had a year and a half into working with the particular structure we've got, and this environment, I have a good feeling of, I think, what I think works well to support the college where we are right now. And then lastly, Britta will talk a little bit. As you know, there's a lot of legislative issues that are impacting our work. Some more directly than others, but we'll spend 15 minutes or so just kind of a high level review of what kind of legislative issues we're looking at least as we see them at a particular point in time. Obviously, they change a lot. And then Jason will help us through a tour of HEB, which is looking phenomenal right now. Yeah, we were over there the other day, tiles going in, just is amazing. So really a lot of fun there. So I've brought this forward just so that you can think about this. If there are some explicit things that you would like to hear about in a retreat setting, let me know, and we'll put these on here. I will get you probably within the next couple weeks, I'll get you draft goals for myself and draft goals for you, sort of just based on where we are for last year's goals. But you have those to think about in advance, and that will move through them, I think, relatively quickly at the board retreat.
Great. I don't remember, are we going to conclude the retreat with a regular board meeting?
Well, so we can discuss that, which I think might be one of our next agenda items, maybe. Are coming up, board retreat planning. Yes, when we look at board meeting schedule, we may want to have that conversation then. No, as scheduled right now, no.
Okay.
And the reason we didn't do that was because I think the conversation was that we felt that that made for a long day and you wanted to break it up at that point in time. We thought about breaking it up. So right now, so that's our draft agenda. We can talk about the board schedule here in a second. It's the next agenda item, I think. And if we want to revisit this, that would be the time to do that there.
Okay. Do we have any questions about the board retreat agenda?
May I, if I have something I have to do at 3 o'clock, can I get excused?
Oh, for you, Suzanne. Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, very much. And that's our tour time. So we can take you on a tour anytime. Just, you want to go on a tour, give me a holler. I'd love to go show the building off. So
Okay.
I'm happy to do that anytime with anybody.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Gives me great joy actually to show it off. Like, you got to tell me to shut up when I'm over there. Keep going and go to the right. It doesn't work. Well, I was just gonna say I don't know if any of you were here when Tim Cook ran in with the running, when he was the guy that ran, the president that ran from all of
Yeah.
they had cowbells they were shaking in there and they kept them and said they're going to bring them anytime I'm scheduled to talk, and like when it's gonna ring them when it's time to get me off the stage. That's funny. It was not funny.
Marilyn and Romy, I hope that you can join us for the retreat. Please let Paul or Lori or both know if there's any problem with scheduling. I think the timing is ideal for incoming board members. It's really great.
I can do it, but I have to miss my usual Latimer day.
Darn.
We're interfering with your.
Yeah, my
Social
schedule,
life.
you're messing me up here.
And I'm more than happy if either of you can't make it for some reason or can't make part of it, I'm more than happy to accommodate my schedule to kind of meet with you individually to bring you up to speed.
Okay. Well, then let's move on to the board meeting schedule.
Okay, wow. What can I say about this? It's been something. So last year, when we were finalizing the board schedule for this year, we had conversations about whether it would be good to meet on the first Monday or the first Wednesday. We had experimented to accommodate Suzanne's schedule with Wednesdays, and there wasn't any really strong preference one way or the other than it seemed like a couple of people thought, oh, Wednesdays might be better than Mondays. So we entertained the idea of moving them to the first Wednesdays. When I sat and at that point, it seemed like a good idea until all of the other requirements that are out there for many of us here to attend started rolling in. And you can see that we moved the first Wednesday in September because of Labor Day, just to accommodate to today. OPC and OCCA has their meetings that start on Thursday morning. I often travel to those, as do others, so it would make it difficult, challenging. And those start on Thursday, so a late night Wednesday night, getting to Portland or Grants Pass or wherever they may be, might be challenging. We did schedule our board retreat for October 7th, but then lo and behold, November 5th as a Wednesday overlaps with the OCCA annual conference that many of us attend.
Right.
December 3rd conflicts and overlaps with our accrediting commission's annual conference, which a few of us attend. And I just looked at those, right? So that's multiple ones in the first half of the year. So it does work better for college staff and employees if we are on the first Monday, just for ease of preparation for the meetings and being able to attend the meetings and not have to be remote or move a few different meetings around if they were on the first Monday. I would like to request, if it's not a huge impact on the board, to move back to the first Monday. If we do that, then you may want to consider what does that mean for the board retreat? Because that would have you here on a board meeting on October 6th. And then a board retreat the next morning on October 7th.
Can I just ask if it would be possible to have it on like the second Monday instead of the first Monday? Is there a particular reason why it needs to be on the first Monday?
I have no idea what the reasons are. I mean, I think historically they've been that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a-
Tradition.
Yeah, in my opinion, is there a reason? I don't think that there is necessarily. I don't know. I would think, we would have to sketch out what the second Monday would look like and see what that interferes with.
Kind of like that idea.
Also on the first Monday, sometimes you don't reschedule things because of holiday weekends.
That is true.
Right.
This would be three things for the first Monday of the month.
I'm indifferent to which Monday, but I would prefer a Monday.
Yeah, me too. Uh-huh. Does that work for you now, Suzanne?
Yes,
So
Okay.
I'm going to tell you, let's, if we want to take a couple seconds here, that would be October 13. That would be November 10. November 10 is the night before Veterans Day. Doesn't impact the college. We're open, but just saying, the 11th we're closed. December 15, I think impacts us.
Wouldn't it be the
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, it is the 8th. Well, why did I have that? Okay, I don't know.
Well, 8th is the first Monday.
No,
The
that's.
first is the first Monday.
Oh, the first.
Yeah,
Okay, so it would be the 8th.
yeah.
Yeah, so that was already on there. It would be the 8th. January, I guess that would be the 12th.
Yeah.
the issue I have right now is I had joint transportation on Mondays and Tuesday nights.
Yes,
But we don't go back into session until January, and those committee assignments have not been made yet.
okay.
in there in the evening?
Yes, 5 to 7.
And both, everybody. February 9.
Yeah.
March 9th.
It's not a holiday. March 9th.
Check for Institute 3 RGB
But we would be leaving
next day.
the next day. And that's in Pittsburgh. April 13th. May 11.
Yep.
May June. Lori, do you see, anticipate a problem with those?
No, the only thing I saw is what Britta had mentioned.
Because a
And then-
few of us are leaving the next day.
Yeah, and then something in April, I think, maybe.
Oh, yeah, but I'm not going to that.
Oh, okay. Then other than that, it looks pretty clear.
So it looks like that could be a possibility. And then we would have to, pending your committee assignments, navigate that issue.
Yeah,
How long
because that
will the
won't
short
be
session-
decided until after the special session closes.
Okay. Okay.
And how long is the short session? Is that what we're talking about, the short?
Yeah, it's done by March.
Oh, so it's,
Okay.
so that would impact a couple months then. Yeah, okay.
Okay, are there any board members who have a second Monday conflict that they know of currently?
Not me.
For one of the meetings, okay.
Yeah, January, but I would have a conflict with the first Monday too.
Okay.
Sometimes there's conflicts.
Sometimes there's conflicts.
One of the kind of cool.
And who knows?
Well, and that's why it's important to have a full board, because we still need 5, or 4 for a majority, so regardless of how many we have. So, good.
I would say I could zoom in, but I'm gonna be in the UK. And it'll be like, I don't know, the middle of the night.
Right.
That'd be dedication.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
I'll tell you, it's like, I was overseas a couple of years ago. Kind of hard,
Yeah,
right at once and work.
Okay. We don't need to vote on this, I think.
Okay.
True?
I don't think so. I will take direction then that we will move, the board meetings to the second Monday, and, we'll, work up a schedule and we'll email that out to everybody. So we have that. Just as an FYI, our retreat again will be October 7th. Our next official board meeting will be October 13th. That work?
Does.
Okay. Good. And we'll put them in.
Okay, so then, do we want to consider having the board meeting and the retreat on the same day? Do it all in one day?
That would be
Wouldn't
it.
work for me. No, okay. Okay,
I don't think.
No, it won't work.
okay, all right, we'll leave it the way it is.
Yeah,
Perfect.
a long day.
Yeah, it's a long day. Okay, well, thank you very much, and sorry for the confusion. Hopefully, we'll keep it here forever. Happily ever after.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna move on to item H, which is organizational, legal, and financial designations.
Well, so as I introduced before, so David Souls is our interim CFO. Dave was a senior accountant with us, been with us for about 1.5 years. Is that right? About 1.5 years now. And did work closely with Sherry Montazri, our prior CFO. When Sherry resigned, we knew ahead of time she was resigning. We asked Dave if he would fill in as an interim, and so they worked closely together in that. So he'll be taking on those roles for the near future for us as the interim CFO. Do you want to present this, Dave, or do you want me to walk through this one, or?
No, I could go through.
Okay, perfect, thank you. Dave's a avid fisherman and crabber as well.
Welcome.
Do we need to go through step by step or just?
No, just the
of
overview.
document?
This is an annual document.
Okay,
Any changes that were significant to call out?
okay. There were only a couple changes on number 11 for established reimbursement rates for meals and lodging. It is the same at lodging be at actual cost, but moving that meals be changed to a per diem to give flexibility to people a little bit better for their travel expenses. And then on number 15 for the authorized check signers, the only difference is adding the senior manager of human resources as a primary signer on, and not just a secondary signer for the two signatures needed. Those are our only changes to the document.
Do we have any questions?
Which document exactly? Because I don't have it.
Oh, it's this. Oh, I'm sorry. It's up
Well, that's
there.
okay. Yeah, I can't see it.
It's every year we,
Oh, I see.
this is
Okay,
our
okay.
legal designations
Yes.
of who's allowed to do what.
Sure. Okay, get it. Yeah.
We don't have any questions. I'll entertain a motion to approve the organizational, legal, and financial designations.
Okay, I'll move, so move.
Thank you.
I'll second
Okay,
it.
all right. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All right, motion passes. Thank you. And we'll move on to item I, authorization for removal of a check sign. That is you, interim CFO.
So on that document, we're just removing Sherry Montez.
Removing Sherry.
And adding me on there as a signer.
And that document is there with you, Mary Faith.
Mary Faith needs to sign that.
Okay. All right, any questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to update the check signer, update the authorized signers on the checking account.
I move we authorize the update of the check signers on the removal of a check signer on the document. And Mary Faith will sign.
Yes, I'll send you stuff. Yes.
Did I say enough?
Perfect.
Not as covered.
Okay. Do we have a second?
I will second the motion.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
So
Motion
where did
passes.
Sherry go?
She took a position as a chief financial officer at a nonprofit, educational, outfit. I don't know exactly. They're not a school. They're a kind of an after school or kind of supportive care for, challenged and disadvantaged youth in Portland.
In Portland, okay. Yeah. Okay.
All right, let's move on to item J, which is updated board policy 3430, prohibition of harassment.
Yes, thank you. So, board policies 3430, and I believe it's 3433, are board policies regarding prohibition of sexual harassment and prohibition of sexual harassment under Title IX. We approved these, board policies about a little more than a year ago, when the language for the Biden 2024 rule for Title IX was enacted. And subsequently, with the changeover in the federal administration, the Eastern District of Kentucky has basically vacated that rule. And as a result, the Department of Education under President Trump has reverted back to the 2020 rules. So currently, the Biden 2024 rules are vacated by the court, not enforceable. And since January 2025, actually, the Trump 2020 rules have been reinstated. We, regardless of what our board policy is, we have to follow the law. We have just gotten all of the updated language to update these board policies from OCCA. And what we're asking you to do is basically approve this updated language so we are compliant with the 2020 rules. I did want to just point out the differences between the two because I think it's important. Most of the changes in language are not at the board policy level, but they're at the administrative rule level, which is not approved by the board. It's basically how we do it. You're just telling us we have to obey the law, right? And these two, how we do that and what the processes are found in administrative rule. The 2024 rule had as protected classes the LGBTQ plus community, pregnancy and parenting were also included under protected classes. Under the Trump 2020 rule, it's only biological sex. Harassment definition was much more strict, I guess broad, I should say, under the Biden 2024 rule, so that just sufficiently severe or pervasive harassment, which also included discrimination as a case of harassment, was under the Biden 2024 rule. In the Trump 2020 rule, it must be severe and pervasive or determined severe and pervasive and objectively offensive. One of the biggest changes is in the process and hearings. Under the 2024 rule, there were no live hearings. You had a single investigator, and the basis of judgment was a preponderance of evidence standard. In the Trump 2020 rules, they allow or they're not required, that they allow live hearings with cross-examination, and a higher standard is allowed for determination of discriminatory harassment under Title IX in this case. Jurisdiction with the 2024 rule included both on and off campus, and included international incidents. If we were outside of the country on a field trip or whatever, something happened, it would be covered. The Trump 2020 rule, or I should just say the 2020 rule, is just limited to on-campus domestic incidents. So basically what you have in essence is the amount of harassment claims that would be covered under Title IX was very broad, and most harassment cases under the 2024 rule. It's much more narrow under the 2020 rule, and most cases do not fall under Title IX. So basically is really where that exists now. So we will have these rules in place. The law is in place, so we'll work our way through the administrative rule process as well to make sure our procedures align with the 2020 language as well. But I just want to point out, we're not really doing anything other than following the law that we have to follow at this point. I would request, typically we would do 2 readings. There's really no wiggle room here, as much as you may like to provide input, for us to be able to provide input. So I would ask if the board would vote on these policies now so that we can enact them, so that our advertised policies are currently in line with legal requirements. You're welcome.
Well, it sounds like you feel comfortable with reverting back to the 2020.
I didn't say that. I feel like, we're obligated to follow the law in this case.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
Comfortable with
The language
accepting
is,
the obligation.
exactly, the language is what we are required to follow.
Mhm.
And I will enforce this in our practices, yes.
Anything we want to say about that?
I have a question.
Yeah.
Are there state laws that help protect the college and holding people accountable that the federal laws don't? I know this is title, not
Yeah,
so I
so-
understand that's federal, but are there separate things where if somebody perpetrating these things that the state will?
Under harassment, yes.
Okay.
So because the sexual harassment laws have included broader protected classes for the state of Oregon, yes, we do have that in the policy here in our procedures, that under sexual harassment, we will consider that broader definition as defined by the state. But with Title IX, because it is a federal rule, we have to follow the federal designations there with that, right? So, and it really is about, the difference there is about whether somebody presents with a sexual harassment claim. The question we'd have, first of all, is that Title IX would go to our Title IX coordinator, which is Britta Lawrence, and we would make the determination, does it fall under Title IX or does it fall under general sexual harassment? If it falls under Title IX, we follow this set of rules that's under Title IX. Thank you.
I feel like there's a lot I could say about this, but it's kind of pointless because we have to comply and we have to do it quickly to protect the college.
In a word, it's complicated.
It is complicated, and I've been very clear with the board about my stance around these things. I will do everything within my power to protect our students and employees in ways that we feel good about. But we at the end of the day, we need to follow the law.
Do you think we need to take them separately?
Yes, I would take them separately. Yes.
So if we don't have anything else, I would entertain a motion to update board policy 3430 for the prohibition of harassment.
I move that we update BDP, board policy 3430, which is prohibition of harassment.
Second that.
Question,
Please.
do we have to officially forego the second reading?
No, that is just, you can take action at any point. It's not a requirement to have two readings on policies.
Thank you. Good question. All right, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. And I would entertain a motion to update board policy 3433, prohibition of sexual harassment under Title IX.
I so move.
Thank you.
Second,
Okay, thank you. Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
aye.
Aye. Motion passes. All right, thank you.
And I do think to Romy's question or point is that because the fewer cases will fall under the Title IX language now. We do live in Oregon that has a much more broader definition of protection under for sexual harassment and discrimination. So most of our cases would fall under that.
Yeah. Okay, then we will move on to item 5, information only items, starting with the construction report, something a lot more cheerful.
All right, well, it's good to see everyone and welcome all our new members. My name is Jason Lawrence. I'm Executive Director of Facilities and Safety. It's great to meet new faces. I will jump into our construction report, just starting with today's activities.
Oh,
It's been very, very busy. Couple major milestones we actually hit today. The first being our sewage ejector tank, which is being installed. Big project that went under, it started this morning. We had to dig down 22 feet for this concrete tank, which has been very stressful because of the depth, especially in Tillamook County with a little thing called groundwater. So the teams have been very stressed out. It's a very difficult dig because it's so deep and it's a deep, narrow cylinder. So it's very difficult to do. But as of 4 o'clock, we were able to dig down 22 feet. We did not hit groundwater.
oh,
And they got all the shoring installed a day ahead of time.
oh.
So tomorrow they'll start lifting. If you've noticed, there's a huge crane on site. They'll be lifting these concrete cylinders in the ground to create the tank.
That's great.
Very big milestone, very difficult project. And so I'm glad to see it successful today. Other major milestone is we started exterior painting on the building today. So the north side, kind of the northeast side, was where the painters decided to start, and they were able to start painting our colors, which is nice. So the building will start to take the campus look. We just finished a complete repaint and stain of the main building in preparation of, both buildings being complete and looking new and sharp. A lot of the landscape elements are underway, sitting benches, sidewalks, paving in the plaza. Some of the TBCC team members have finalized a selection of trees and certifying of the trees that were spec'd by the landscape architects, making sure they're the right size and healthy. So they are on their way to the campus, as well as a bunch of plants, lots and lots of landscaping. I can't remember the final count, but I know one species alone, there's 1,500.
Oh, my God.
So the landscaping with the plaza and the overall campus design is coming together, which is super exciting. On the interior, tons and tons of activity. The second floor is currently painted. So they're working their way down to the first floor, painting. All the tile ceilings are being installed. Tile setters have moved in. They've completed tiling of the second floor bathroom, and they're moving down to the first floor set of bathrooms, and then they'll be tiling the first floor corridors. So a lot of finish work is starting up. Casework's been delivered, so cabinets, door frames, All the specialty woodwork has been delivered, as well as all the metal door frames, window frames, interior storefront. So there's a lot of glass frontage that's been installed. So there's a ton to see. So we encourage everyone to come for a tour. We'll definitely have one on the board retreat, but if anyone wants a tour, please let me or Paul know. We'd love to take you out and show it off. So lots of activity. We have our paving date set for October 7th, which is the same day as board retreat, which will be exciting. So parking is going to be difficult for the retreat. Unfortunately, we will not have a parking lot. So we lose our parking lot on September 29th, so they can rip out the remainder of the parking lot and then repave the entire site back as one pave.
We'll get the trolley from the fairgrounds.
We're probably have the trolley or something running back and forth to our auxiliary lot next to the PRI building. Which will be a little bit of a headache, but that is another sign that we're getting very, very, very close. Because the big advantage is once it's paved and striped, we all get to park back on the campus.
Yay.
So that is the real positive. So lots going on. I'd love to show the building off. If anyone wants to take a tour or has any other questions, I'm happy to answer them. Next update is on the CIT building. So that project is well underway. It's hard to tell, but the entire inside of the building has been removed and kind of demoed. The exterior civil work has started, so the parking infrastructure, frontage improvements on 3rd Street are all underway. And then on the interior, today they started all the groundwork plumbing to start putting the interior back together. So a lot going on there, which is great. Very long time coming. We've been working on that project for a while, and it's good to see it underway. So that project's moving along well. So that completes my report. If there's any questions, I'd love to answer them.
Thank you, Jason. Any questions of Jason? Marilyn and Romy, have you had tours yet?
No, and I'm sitting here so excited because, like I said, not just my granddaughter, but her boyfriend, he's been her boyfriend since 8th grade. And they are going into the nursing program together. They both are. So I would love to take the two of them.
Absolutely. We'd love to have you. The community event center is also taking shape. I love that out,
Nice.
which is a phenomenal space that is going to be a huge asset for Tillamook County.
Jason, it's two different contractors, right, on the two projects?
Yes.
And how's the second one doing?
The second one is great. Very different contractors. So Kirby Nagelhout is very, very large. And then we have AT Construction on CIT, which is a smaller family-owned contractor, which I think fits the scope of work perfect. So far, everything's been moving very well. Our team has had to switch gears a little bit. So our team, I've had to remind them that the smaller contractor may not be up to speed on how some of these larger, all the RFIs and submittals and the whole flow between all the architects and engineers. We're all been set in that kind of that speed lane, and now we're moving over to CIT. It's a little bit different of a lane, but it's good. The smaller contractor, hands-on, doing the work themselves. I think it fits that project perfectly. That's good.
Nice.
Anything else for Jason? If not, we can move on to the financial report.
There we go. There's not a lot of activity in July there, so this is through the end of July. We rolled over 1.6 million as our beginning fund balance. That number will adjust slightly as we go through the audit process, where we'll be starting that next month, and he'll have some recommendations for us for moving some of those items. Just point out some of the negative numbers you see up there. Those will also be going away. That's due to a process that we're looking at right now. So a student that registered for summer and then drops the class, and the computer is recognizing it in July versus when they registered in June. So those numbers will be moved back. So you won't see the negative numbers there once that's fixed. Red is bad. That's.
Michael, you've had an impact.
Good. So we operate. I guess the other thing to note is the way that the payroll is recorded due to audit purposes. The July payroll is moved back to June because it's for the June wages. And so you don't see the expense of that. And then in June, you see a double expense. So we're working with the auditor and seeing if that is something we can change the way we do, because it's an accounting nightmare, but it creates all kinds of fun for us. But that is the gist of it. I'm certainly open to suggestions on what you're used to hearing, it's my first time running through it, so. Any questions from?
Questions for David? Okay, I think you're off the hook. Thank you. And the president's report.
Great, thank you. I'll try to keep it a little bit brief. Enrollment trends, really nothing to update yet. I mean, summer was a decent term for us. We don't have all numbers. I think we're going to close 24, 25, 588, 590-ish. I called up there and I said, you got to find me 10 FTE. You got to find me 10 FTE, right?
And then when the statistics were wrong, he threatened to fire me. Too bad we had to change that policy, right? Harassment.
Exactly. No, so I feel very good about our enrollment. We really, it's about making sure, numbers are numbers and they're important for us from a revenue point of view, obviously, but we want to make sure that the numbers we are getting in enrollment for student enrollments are beneficial for students. And a lot of the work that we have planned out over the next year is really making sure just exactly that. I will point out a couple of interesting developments for the college here in terms of, I guess it's recognition, but work is, as you know, we've talked a little bit about rural guided pathways and what that means. It really is aligning the curriculum that we have to living wage careers for students, whether that be their first job or their third job or whatever, but making sure that we have that pipeline to help our community members get out of generational poverty that they might be in. We're excited about that rural guided pathways work, and we'll talk a little bit more about that board retreat, just so you get a sense of like how transformative that could be for the college over the next few years. On a lark, I applied for a scaling apprenticeship, be part of a scaling apprenticeship cohort. This is put on by ACCT, which is the Association of Community College Trustees. And they basically were selecting 10 colleges across the country to participate in an apprenticeship program that would provide support and resources to colleges that might be willing to entertain starting registered apprenticeship in non-traditional apprenticeship fields, so things other than the trades for the most part. And we submitted an application centered around healthcare and potentially agriculture to develop apprenticeship opportunities, and lo and behold, we were chosen as one of 10 nationwide. We were the only college in the Northwest, and I believe there was one in California, but yeah, so we were, so that's very good. I think they were trying, they tried to hit a wide variety of schools, and there's a lot of unique things about us.
What was the organization?
ACCT, the Association of Community College Trustees.
Okay.
This is funded by a think tank group called Ascendium, and they're also a group that funds the Rural Guided Pathways Project, which I think helped us, because we were part of that group as well. They go hand in hand together. Apprenticeships are on ramp to living wage careers for the most part.
Can you tell us what scaling means in that context?
It basically means scaling them to non-traditional apprenticeship disciplines, right? So we're going to grow our apprenticeship portfolio in things outside of the trades. Typically, our apprenticeships are electrical, right, and millwright, what we have right now. We want to do apprenticeships in CNA, right? So a certified nursing assistant or medical assisting as an apprentice program, right? So they're employed, they're being paid, their school is being paid for by their employer, and they're working while they're going to school. It's that model, so
Okay.
so that they're working. And again, it fits with a total kind of grow your own mentality, right? And we're isolated here. It's difficult to get talent, so we want to promote our talent. This is a way to do that and have them be paid while they're in school to do it, which is, and you know, their wage increases as they make their way through the apprenticeship.
Great, thank you.
Certainly. Also found out that we were chosen as a top Hispanic serving institution, community college serving, Hispanic serving institution, community college by a group called Washington Monthly, which is, they started as an alternative ranking to colleges apart from the US News and World Report rankings, which were pretty standard rankings, which are really based on prestige, money, and things like that. Washington Monthly started their rankings based upon colleges that increase social mobility of their students. They look at graduation and completion rates, transfer rates, cost of attendance, minority serving status in terms of percentage Pell serving underprivileged. We were chosen, or just it is just based on national data. We were chosen as a top institution that serves Hispanic students and community colleges in the top 50. We were the only one in the Pacific Northwest that was chosen. A lot of California schools, as you would imagine, because they have a large Hispanic. We were the only community college in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of times we talk about as our leadership group, I don't put a lot into these surveys and whatever. But this one, of course, because we were chosen, we have to. But what's nice about this one is it used standardized data, it used national clearinghouse data, right? It's not, you know, subjective in that regard. And it, you know, it does speak, what feels good to me about it is it does speak to social mobility for our students, which is what we're all about. So I feel really good about that. We were just notified. Yeah, we were just notified a couple of weeks ago about that. So we're figuring out how to roll that one out. So, so it feels good, especially at a time when we don't know with the Department of Ed what's going to happen to Hispanic serving institution status and things like that. At least we can still recognize that we don't need the federal designation for that. We have a growing Hispanic and Latinx community here in our service district, and we are going to serve them regardless. So I feel good about that.
Wonderful.
Yep. I should mention, you know, we had a conversation a while ago. I kind of peeled the board out about, what your feelings were about taking over the station KTCB from KMUN in Astoria. I'll say that we've decided to put that acquisition, so to speak, on hold. It really amounted to fiscal uncertainty right now and moving down that road. As you know, there's a lot of pullback from money from public broadcasting sources. We are looking at sort of uncertain financial, I'm not saying they're bad, but they're uncertain financial times ahead, and it didn't seem like the right time to take this on. And so, you know, I was excited by it, but, you know, I do think in the interest of the college that it would be a little bit too risky at this point to do that. Yeah. I wanted to just a couple things here, just to pinpoint here. I want to talk about our nursing program. We will have starting September 22nd. We will enroll our third cohort of students. It's hard to believe that it's been long enough to have a third cohort. Our first cohort, as you know, we graduated 14 Associate of Applied Science and Nursing students in June. 13 of those 14 have taken their national licensing exam. 11 passed on the first time, which is an 85% success rate, which is above many other community colleges in the state right now. So I feel really good about that. And of course, those students will retake the exam, obviously, and will likely pass on their second time. So that's good. Our second cohort is in starts their clinicals in September. In earnest over at the hospital. So that'll be fun for them to kind of get a sense of what it means to be a floor nurse. And the third cohort, we had 25, 6, 7, something like that, applications for 16 positions. We have selected our group. we have taken everybody from Tillamook County or the Tillamook Association that was qualified. Among the other students, we actually have 2 students from California that will be starting, interestingly enough, from Butte College, which is near Chico State. So that's, I don't know what our pipeline is down there, but anyhow, that'll be interesting to see that progress. What other couple highlights? You can look through some of that. I want to just mention legislatively a little bit, just briefly, revenue forecast. Again, still not sure what this will mean for us. The May revenue the August revenue for September that was released in August. Revenue forecast did indicate a revenue shortfall due to federal changes, mostly in the tax code that Oregon has a law that many of those pass through to us. That will result in $800 to $900 million hit, loss of revenue likely over the next couple of years of the biennium. Also, the prior in the May, there was a projected surplus in the state budget. That's now looks like that's going to be a projected deficit about $370 million or so. So we're looking at basically our state legislators are going to have to do some difficult work over the next year in looking to balance that budget. And I know, obviously, Senator Weber knows how challenging that's going to be. And I am certainly, every agency feels like their agency deserves the most money. We're right in this case, just.
Of course.
But you've heard that a time or two.
Yeah.
So I think, my take home message about that is, and also, an elevated risk of a recession. We don't know, right? So I think, and that's part of that's motivating some of our decisions like the radio station and things like that, as to where we can be conservative and not overextend ourselves. We don't want to overextend ourselves. I was not in Oregon in, 2008-9 or whatever, when there was a mid-biennium cut. And I know this institution, Pat, were you part of the institution at that point? Michael was.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely hurts, right? And so we're going to be doing everything we can to shore ourselves up so that when we do have to make cuts, when that happens, we will do so in a way to minimize impact to our human resources as much as possible. So we're really trying to protect that piece. So, again, I'm not, the sky's not falling, but, you better reinforce your umbrella. So, I think, we just want to be ready. Because I know that those will be some challenging conversations that they'll have at that, say. Just a couple of things to point out, a couple observances of this month, right? It is National Suicide Prevention Awareness Month. Again, if you feel like there's, lots of times people just need a little word of support sometimes that they don't get, and just please be aware of that, not just this month, but every day, that we don't know what people's struggles are, and sometimes just a, hey, how you doing goes a long way. But we want to bring awareness to that certainly this month. Over September 15th to October 15th is Hispanic Heritage Month. And it's observed each year over that month to celebrate achievements, histories, traditions, and the cultural diversity of the Hispanic Latinx Americans. So we will have programming to be announced later to celebrate the impact of individuals of Hispanic and Latinx descent that have made for this country. Couple upcoming dates, and you all are welcome as board members to come to any or all of these that you would like to come to. We do have new student orientation Tuesday, September 16th in the late afternoon and early evening. These are our students that are starting with TBCC this fall as new entering students. We have historically had a fall in service Wednesday through Friday, the week preceding the start of fall term. We've turned that around a little bit this year. I'm pretty excited by this. Aaron and I have been working on turning our fall, not just the two of us, we've been scheduling it, but the campus has really been engaged in turning fall in-service more into a conference format. So we'll have general sessions with overarching issues in the morning. And I think I sent, if you haven't checked your TBCC email, I think I sent out tentative agenda so you can see what's on that over the weekend. And then we'll have, we asked our employees to submit ideas to give concurrent sessions, much like you would at a conference. And so we've got some employees that are talking about safety versus, I don't know, I can't even think off the top of my head with Garmin. We have a number of 20-some different sessions throughout the 3 days in the late morning that our employees are leading that people can choose to go to. So I'm pretty excited about that. And and you all are welcome. Would love to see you come if you're available. If not, I certainly understand that y'all are busy. And then we have our sort of kickoff barbecue Friday the 19th at 4 o'clock. Again, you're welcome to that. We do have 2 tables for the YMCA dinner and auction. That's Saturday, September 20th. A couple of you have said you would like to attend. If we have new board members and anybody else, if you haven't, let us know. We have plenty of rooms. We have plenty for single individuals. If you want to bring somebody, that's fine. Just let me know so that we can get those scheduled. There'll be a mix of board members and leadership people and whatever. It's good fun. So.
What was the date? I'm sorry.
Saturday, 20th. And the theme this year is Alice in Wonderland.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's very
And if you haven't been to a YMCA dinner, they're fun.
Yeah.
Do you have to dress in costume or something?
It's optional, you can. I don't usually do those things, but yes. And if you would like to. Let's see, fall term begins Monday, September 22nd, there. Just a couple kudos here. There's certainly, you know how busy Jason is. I could not be doing this work without him and his guidance and support with our building projects. It means a lot to me, Jason. Thank you. We had a lot of participation across the campus in the fair. Seems like that's been forever ago now, but we had a lot of participation there. That was a lot of fun. I'm certainly thankful for Dave for coming up and providing some stability and support for the business office. The team in the business office responds very well to Dave, and I think he'll provide some good support there in this time of transition. Lori's back. Thank you. But Kylie really helped a lot in providing support there as well. And I want to, they're not here, so I'll probably send this out to them. We have a couple employees, most of you know Angelica Ortiz Rios has been with the institution for quite a while. Maiko Olarte is teaches, or she was a tutor for us, but Maiko and Angelica, they were instrumental in putting on our Hispanic Heritage Celebration last year. They took over our class this summer for English as a second language, so our ESOL courses, and they have gotten enrollment to move from, I want to say we were down to, we might have 3 or 4 people attend a session, and now we've got over 20 attending a session each time. But it goes to show what having that community connection means and does, right? These are 2 individuals that are tied into the community, the Hispanic community, the Spanish speaking community, and really promote and encourage interaction with TBCC as a good place to come learn some skills. So I'm very, very grateful for the work that they do. Okay, and I think I start to hear those cowbells ringing, so
Mention one
Please.
date. I know it's a little bit early and it'll happen next month, but you should have an invitation to the Mildred Davy Scholarship Recognition event in front of you. Lori forwarded the invite. This year, it's Friday, October 17th at 3:30. All foundation scholarship recipients attend, as well as most of the donors or donor organizations that make their scholarships possible. You get to hear from a student speaker and just show appreciation to our donors. It's a really awesome event.
Flies.
I cry for 30 seconds. It's just like, I try not to, but I can't. It's just really, it reiterates why we're here and why the work that we do is so important. So if you are available to attend, I would encourage you to do so and RSVP early because we sold out last year. And I'm excited this year, but next year we'll be in our new building. So we will not have any, well, not any restrictions. But we'll have we can accommodate as many guests as possible, more than 120. So yeah, that was it.
The Officers Mess Hall, is that south of here by the big?
Yeah, by the. by the-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you. Board member discussion items? Do you have anything you want to discuss? Board members?
Welcome aboard. Excited.
Yeah,
Great.
Very excited.
We are
Good.
so lucky to have you.
Yeah, we're just thrilled.
Thank you.
And I wanted to briefly reassure you that when it comes time to run for the position, what we've done in the past is group together, work on it together.
Yeah.
Particularly if there are, if we have any opposition. For a long time, there was no, college presidents were recruiting people to run because people were not running for these positions. But that's changed, but it isn't inevitable that you'll have opposition. We didn't all have opposition in the last election. So if there's no opposition, you don't even have to campaign. And if there is opposition, then we work on it together.
And this particular one's off cycle because of the law says that if you're in the,
Yeah.
so it's off cycle. You two will have to run again should you choose, or those positions will be up and the other positions will be 3.
So a question, I mean, will we be like, will somebody remind me
Oh,
to
yes.
file by such a deadline? Or
Oh, yes, I'll come knock on your door.
somebody should draw up an important volume?
Yeah, we manage that part for you all, so we'll give you all the deadlines and everything up front. Yep.
That really helps. Thank you.
Well, with that, our next board meeting is, the workshop is October 7th and the next board meeting is October 13th. So reminders, change them on our calendars from where they are now. The first Wednesday right now, we're changing them from the first Wednesday to the second.
Oh, can I just, really quickly, November 5th through 7th is the annual OCCA
Yes.
conference. And you're invited to come.
Absolutely.
It's definitely worthwhile. It's at Hood River.
For the river this year.
Yeah.
I'll send you guys information on that conference.
Yeah.
Your
Yeah.
email, so you can see.
All right, thank you. Anything else?
Before I forget, at the board retreat, I think we're still trying to line up a photographer for the morning. So don't just roll out of bed in your sweatpants and come, right? I'm kidding.
Are we having to be casual or professional?
I
Your collar.
I think mostly this one will be casual. If we could have a conversation though about, I mean, we definitely will take a group photo, and that would tend to be more casual, and we can take casual photos, but if you all would like to have more portrait kinds of things, if you think that's important, we can make that happen too. It'd be a different person that would do it for us, but we can make that happen too. I don't know.
Kind of the more formal ones are like what's
Like
hanging
what-
outside
Right.
right now.
But that's been a few years for me, truly.
Yeah, no, I think it has for most people, so.
Okay. All right, is there anything else? If not, I will entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye. All right, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Welcome to our new board members. 5 or 7.
5 to 7.
I just, I had time off last week, so